Number one, all-time, absolute, fabulous book that I adore with all my heart. And literally no lies book changed my life. Is The Princess Bride by William Goldman, or S. Morgenstern's classic tale of true love and high adventure, The Princess Bride. This is a book within a book, and is a satire on satires. It is adorable. Most of the book is telling the story of the Princess Bride, of Buttercup, and her true love, Wesley, and the hijinks and craziness that ensues. Because it's an epic love story, and such things have to happen. Characters are a bit over the top and ridiculous, especially Buttercup, but it's also a satire. So if she were perfect, it probably wouldn't be great. But this story has, and to quote the book itself, fencing, fighting, torture, poison, true love, hate, revenge, giants, hunters, bad men, good men, beautifulest ladies, snakes, spiders, beasts of all nature and descriptions, pain, death, brave men, coward men, strongest men, chases, not chaos, escapes, lies, truce, passion, and miracles. Literally, this book has everything. And I just told you that. A common theme throughout this book, literally, it's the same line, like, at least 3 times he talks about it, that life is pain, and anyone who says different is selling something. I kind of like that that's kind of a rational, logical thing. Yeah, all these books I talked about, bad things happen. Doesn't mean you don't get your happy ending, but you're going to have to deal with the pain. Like, you're not going to live in a bubble. This book flat out tells you it, like, spells it out word for word. I love the cunning use of dialogue. I love the way that he uses words. I like Fezzik's love of coming up with random rhymes. Also, I think this book is also about a different kind of true love. And that is how much we love literature and why it wins my number 1 spot ever. So I said it's a book within a book. So the inside book is Princess Bride, and the outer book is the story of him trying to abridge this ginormous book that was like 900 pages that he has never read before down into something manageable. The very first sentence of this book is my favorite book in all the world, though I have never read it. The author, William Goldman, tells a fictional account of his life, wherein his father reads him the story of the Princess Bride with Buttercup and Wesley, while he's sick in bed he's bedridden for like a month because he has pneumonia. And how he absolutely falls in love with the story. He is a kid who doesn't read and is like into sports. And this one story that he has never actually read himself, has only been read to him, changes him to the avid reader who has to read everything that he can get his hands on if it's a story, like an adventure story. And he eventually becomes an author. William Goldman, who wrote like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. So he has this great passion and love of this story. And then when his son turns 10, which is the age he was when his father read him this book, he goes to all this length to find this out-of-print book for his son and give it to him for his 10th birthday. His son gets the book while his dad's out of town, tries to read it. His dad comes home, finds out that he didn't read it, and the dad tries to read it for the first time in 30 years. And finds out that it's not particularly a children's story after all. It's a satire on government, and particularly monarchy. And so he attempts the loving task of bridging it down to us, the abridged version, the good parts version, for the rest of us. So we will all know the story of Buttercup and Wesley as it was told to him as a boy, why he loves it. And I love the fact that it's like a story of how that's my cat Offsides, by the way. Hi, Offsides. He's adorable, but not social. Anyway, Princess Bride. Oh, the book. The story is kind of a love story about how we love literature and how we relate to literature. How we pass on stories to our children, fathers to sons. How we read books, why books are written, And it changed my life because it is the first book, I read this in middle school, and it's the first book that actually made me think about who authors are and why they're writing books. Like, I knew people wrote these stories, but I didn't think about who they were or why. And in the process, I decided that I wanted to write books myself. And hopefully one day I will finish writing one. That's the goal. So, that is why I adore this book. Yeah. It's also really good. I tried to find a quote that I read off of page 8, and in the process I have gotten to page 230 in one day. It's really, really fun, easy read. I promise you, it sounds absurd, but it is fun. There are very few lines in this book that I do not adore and rank as that's amazing. I want to write like that.